So today it is the 25th of July, which also means that we're halfway through the year, like way over halfway through the year. And I'm gonna be fully honest, throughout these first 6 months, life didn't really go the way that I expected it to go, and it didn't really go the way that I wanted it to go. Regardless of the fact that I was doing everything in my power to try and pursue what it is that I wanted to achieve and towards what I'm currently pursuing, it just simply didn't really go my way. But throughout these first 6 months of just absolute failure, I also learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about myself, what I was currently facing, and the next steps that I needed to take. One of the things that I realized so vividly was the fact that there's a formula to success. And it's a formula that not a lot of people really talk about, but it's composed of 4 things. And one of these 2 things are being able to have the right timing and having the right opportunity. And with these 2 metrics, you can manifest anything that you want with a ton of hard work. And I'm a big believer on manifestation. The law of manifestation is a real thing and it's a real law. But apart from that, it's also a matter of time, consistency, and of course hard work. But on the other hand, there's no such thing as working hard or working smart. You need both of these things. You can't just separate one from the other. But yeah, honestly, a lot of people sort of question, should I be working hard or should I be working smart? Like a lot of people say, don't work hard, work smart. And they think that it's a genius idea, but you need both in order to succeed and get what you want. You can't just differentiate both of them as 2 different things that work individually. It's not how it works. You need both of them. And of course, there's like so many other things to consider, but at the end of the day, it's all about repositioning yourself. And of course, through the road to success, you're knowingly facing the fact that there's a lot of things that are going to be hard, and there's a lot of tribulations that are waiting to test you and that are waiting to test your worth. When those times come, face those tribulations. A lot of people talk about how to succeed, but not a lot of people talk about how to face failure and also how to succeed from failure. So when those times come, face those tribulations, face the failures that are waiting to knock you down. But also, don't just learn from your failures. You have to apply consistently. So the formula to success really is about having the right opportunity, the right timing, manifesting what you want through these 2 metrics with a ton of hard work, but also a ton of smart work. Once you start, that's really just the first step, and then after that, it's all about repositioning and repivoting yourself through the path. I heard someone say something really interesting about this whole concept of repivoting yourself, and they basically did that by saying, when you get on this journey to pursue what you want, and once you're on that road to achieve what you want, it's basically like having a compass with you. You have a guide, you have information, and sometimes you have a path of where you want to go, but most of the time that path is not accurate to where you're actually meant to end up. It's not accurate to your specific destination that you're going to be getting to in the future, because realistically, no one actually knows where they're going to end up. God decides that, and all that you can really do is just put one foot in front of the other. But throughout that process, your compass will misguide you, because you're going to be overloaded with so many different things and so many different failures that it sort of misguides you in a way. So your job with that is to always snap yourself out of it, to reanalyze your situation and to repivot yourself. And I know that this is what happened to me for the first 6 months of 2024, because I spent the first 6 months of 2024 focusing on the wrong business model, and now being halfway through it, I realized that I literally went down the wrong path. What I was doing is I was basically trying to work as a video editor, and I was trying to build an agency from that, like a whole agency, a short form content agency that was just helping with video edits. But one thing that I didn't realize is that it just wasn't the right opportunity. It didn't have enough value, because video editing is literally a commodity. You can be replaced by anybody who knows how to video edit. And in this world, a lot of people know how to do that. And so with that, it just wasn't the right thing for me. And I didn't realize that until 6 months later when I got scammed twice. And to be honest, at first, I was sort of beating myself up for the fact that I thought I wasted the first 6 months just doing the wrong thing. But I learned so many lessons. And to be honest, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for everything that I had gone through throughout these first 6 months. It's shocking to say, because on the night of my birthday, which was October 13th, I had my first sales call for my first video editing job that paid me $80 a month for 5 videos a day. And since then, I have gotten on hundreds of sales calls. And sure, I might have gotten like a few grand from the jobs that I did, but it simply just wasn't the right thing for me, because it devalued me so much from my potential, from my actual potential of being able to achieve more. And I couldn't just settle for that. So in the beginning of June, which was last month, I actually quit video editing and I started a social media marketing agency that focused on results-driven services. So I picked a service for that, which for me was Meta Ads. I started cold calling businesses and I actually managed to close my first client after 2 weeks of starting this agency. And I filmed another video about this on my YouTube channel, but it sort of made me realize that I literally wouldn't have been able to close that client within 2 weeks if it wasn't for that 6 months experience of being able to hop on calls and close clients for just video editing services. It had taught me so much. And to be honest, I'm pretty new to this whole social media marketing space, and I've learned a lot already. With video editing, I had learned so much about business, content, different kinds of ways to market that it sort of fired me up for what I'm doing right now. When it comes to business, you need to be a source of value. And I didn't understand that until 6 months later, when I realized that video editing was just such a low value service. You're essentially just saving time for the person that you're working for, but with social media marketing, you're working with the person. I'd gotten on one of my cold calls and I remember this one prospect telling me, I like that you use the word together, because a lot of these agencies just call you up and they try to get you as their client. They don't actually treat you as a partner. And so that's also another really big benefit that social media marketing has for you, is that you're not working for a prospect, you're working with a prospect, because you need them to sort of cooperate with you. You need them to follow what you know is right for them. Essentially, that's when you build a marketing plan for them, when you find out what it is that they need, but that's a whole different story. And going back to this whole concept of formula to success, everybody has a different path. And to be honest, when it comes to right opportunity within the online space, there's no such thing as the method. When we talk about the right opportunity, it's not about the right business model. It's about the right business model for you. Because business models don't fail, people do. Because it all comes down to the fact that some people just cannot handle what a certain business model requires them to do. And so for example, I know that a lot of people are totally fine with working remotely as a video editor and just completing tasks, but I knew that that just wasn't what I wanted to do, because I genuinely think that there's such a higher potential for me and my capabilities. So video editing just wasn't for me at some point. And I had realized that only 6 months down the line, but that's totally fine. Me having realized all that 6 months down the line didn't just give me so much experience in business, it also made me learn this valuable lesson of the fact that there's a formula to success, and you need, once you follow these 4 metrics, it's clicking, and it's only a matter of time and consistency. And so one thing that I didn't understand at the time that I understand now is the fact that every time that you're trying to pursue something, obviously there's a scale, right? There's a scale of whether you're sort of succeeding or whether you're just failing. And so within this scale, the more you take action, the more you're gonna be going back and forth, because that's the journey. You're gonna be going back and forth. You're gonna be failing, you're gonna be seeing results. It's just gonna be all over the place at some point. Within the process of pursuing what you want, most people think that the journey looks like this, right? Sort of going down and then it just goes up. That doesn't apply to everybody. To be honest, what I know, the most realistic path that everybody's gonna be going through once they're trying to start something is that it's just gonna be an absolute mess at first. It's gonna go to absolute shambles, and right as you're about to quit, it starts clicking. And so at first, within this scale of you going back and forth from success to failure, once you get a bit into that scale of success, you gotta understand that you're still seeing results. Even if you're not at the absolute end of the scale to success, that you're just winning at everything, you're still in the scale of succeeding. You're still seeing results, and that's incredible. And so with me starting this whole SMMA thing, even though I'm still at the beginning of this whole journey, the fact that I managed to close my first client is already a measure of success. If anybody here is within the SMMA online space, every time that you book an appointment, every time that you get a prospect that's interested, that is a win. That you're in the scale of success. You just need to keep going, and it's only a matter of time and consistency. And to be honest, every time that you fail, every time that you're on the scale of failure, you're actually also winning, because you're learning so much. And going back to the concept of repivoting is just learning from your failures, extracting as much as you can so that you can hit twice as hard on your next step. And you know what? Sometimes repivoting yourself takes a long time. It can take months, it can take years, but you know what, that's totally fine, because you are in the process of becoming as you fail. And also, going back to what I said earlier, a lot of people talk about how to succeed, working hard and having the right opportunity. The one thing that they miss is smart work, especially when it comes to facing failures. So when it comes to facing failures, the ultimate thing to do is to extract as much as you can from what you've missed, from what you weren't able to do, from what you totally messed up, to be able to recharge your mind as much as possible so that you can execute 2 times harder once you're repivoting. And so honestly, to everybody watching this, analyze your current situation right now. Do you have the right opportunity? If you're young, it's definitely the right timing because you have all the time in the world to fail and learn. Are you working hard enough? And are you repivoting yourself from your failures? And apart from that, just don't quit. Like I said, most people quit right as it's about to take off. And maybe it takes months to take off, but you just need to keep going. And so honestly, in my situation right now, I've got the right opportunity because I'm very young and I'm learning a lot. There's always more work to do and I'm keeping that up every single day. I would say that now I found the right opportunity for me, and then it all comes down to the fact that I need to repivot every single time that I fail. And also throughout this whole process, you're going to be on different levels, and each of these levels have different problems, have different things that need to be solved. These levels for XMMA, for example, would sort of look like this, where you're writing the script, you're building out your agency foundations, then you're cold calling, you're getting rejected, then you finally book a meeting, and once you're getting ready for the meeting, the prospect is just not showing up, and that's another problem. But once they're showing up, now you can't really close them, and you're trying to handle objections, and then once you're finally handling objections, you're trying to figure out how to deliver properly, and then once you deliver properly, you're just trying to find out how to deliver better, how to scale, how to manage your team, and then once you finally build your team, there's going to be different team members that are just going to make everything a lot harder, and that's a problem for you to solve. Business is just about solving problems. You got to be a good problem solver, but also a solution finder. And there's honestly so many ways to go on about it. I've learned a lot of lessons throughout these first 6 months, and now it's really just all about applying, repivoting, being consistent, and being patient. Because as long as you're working hard enough, as long as you're learning from your failures and that you're getting back in the game once you found the right opportunity for you, and honestly, when it comes to right timing, there's never really a right timing. You just have to start now and you have to repivot now. And there's always a big advantage to those who are young. And I feel like with me, it's genuinely the perfect timing because I have 2 years left until I graduate. And that puts a lot of pressure on me. But that's also what's going to make me work 2 times harder. And so honestly, on the other hand, you just have to follow this process and you have to follow this formula. And then apart from that, you just have to be patient. But also, please don't forget to enjoy life throughout this journey. Most people neglect that, honestly. That's also another big lesson that I learned is it's fine to live life when you're working towards something. You're working towards something to live a better life. Live a good life now. There's nothing wrong with now. Enjoy your life as you're working towards your dreams. That's totally fine. But anyways, I hope this video was valuable. You can send me a DM on Instagram. We can chat if this really helped you out, and you can tell me about your situation. I can try my best to help you. But on the other hand, to everybody who's watching this, understand that your time will come. And it's the same for me. I know that right now, it's all a matter of time consistency. And it's also a matter of learning as much as you can so that you can help others and that you can repivot yourself down the right path. Apart from that, live a good life. It's always a beautiful day. Don't give up. Your time will come, I promise.